that racism just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough racism.
We got cheated in the election. They didn't really win. And a lot of people voted who shouldn't have, especially those black people in the cities.
In a 6-3 ruling written by Samuel Alito, the most reliably conservative justice, the Supreme Court dealt another violent blow against democracy by upholding 2 restrictive Arizona voting laws, forbidding the collection of absentee ballots by anyone other than family or caregivers, and allowing the tossing of ballots inadvertently cast in the wrong precinct. Sadly, the conservative decision shows you just how central the big lie has become to Republican orthodoxy. What's far more troubling is what this decision means for future cases before the courts. According to Alito, states can pretty much do whatever they want to suppress the vote, as long as they don't make it obvious.
To drop out some of the legal jargon here, Alito's standard is basically, as long as you don't say the N-word when you are taking away people's votes, it is fine. That is the essential takeaway from his opinion. It was empirically shown that these laws had a disparate impact on black and brown and native voters in Arizona. The plaintiffs, the state of Arizona, admitted that these laws had a disparate impact and admitted that that's why they were there. Let's be clear. The Arizona said that the reason why they wanted these laws is to help them win elections by depressing the vote, right? That racism just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough racism to trigger the Voting Rights Act. It must be nice to have a job where you can tell other people how much racism is real. But that's the decision. That's the upshot here. As long as you don't make it completely obvious that you're doing something with bigotry in your heart, as if that was easy to prove, then Alito is going to let you do it.
It's time for Congress to act.
Well, of course, Neil, because racism no longer exists. According to John Roberts, racism is over because Obama was president. Therefore, 1 out of 320 million people who is black was elected president. Poof, racism's gone.
I want to pivot to the Supreme Court today, this decision upholding voting restrictions in Arizona came down along party lines, and I know it's considered gross and undignified to use the phrase party lines when referring to the Supreme Court, but we've all seen the confirmation hearings, and people aren't stupid and know the score on the court. Here is Kagan from her dissent. Justice Kagan writes, in part, what is tragic here is that the court has yet again rewritten in order to weaken a statute that stands as a monument to America's greatness and protects against its basest impulses. What, Neil, did the court do today to the Voting Rights Act? And we so often look to the Supreme Court as the ultimate remedy to societal problems and issues, especially where people's rights are concerned. I guess not in this case.
Yeah, so they profoundly undermined the Voting Rights Act.
So let's take one more step down this road, and then I want to talk about your side of the ball. Politically, inclusiveness in voting is a negative on the right now, Senator. That's what these 17 states are moving as a premise. That's what election fraud, that farce, is about. We got cheated in the election. They didn't really win. And a lot of people voted who shouldn't have, especially those black people in the cities. That's why they're passing the laws the way they are, where they are. So the idea that, hey, people are going to see voting as the bastion and we need more, that's not the take on the right. Why do you think they'll change and break ranks?
And no word tonight of any retirements. The last 9 justices to step down for something other than health reasons announced their plans on or before the court's final day. That suggests Justice Stephen Breyer will probably be around next term.